Before anyone calls you powerful, you're just another face in a small flat, counting bills under a tired yellow light. Outside, the city looks rich, untouchable, and very far away. Then one night, a message arrives from someone you should probably ignore. You stare at it for too long because part of you already knows you're going to answer. Your first meeting is in the back of a quiet cafe where nobody raises their voice. That somehow makes it worse. Every chair, every glance, every silence feels like a test. You quickly learn this world runs on rules nobody writes down. Who speaks first? Who sits where? Which names are said with respect and which names are not said at all? Everyone else seems born into the rhythm of it. They understand the looks across the room. You're still trying to work out when to talk and when to shut up. Then you get one small thing right. Nothing dramatic, just a problem solved before it becomes embarrassing. An older man gives you a single nod, and somehow that is enough. So you keep showing up. Late nights, cold coffee, numbers, names, promises, debts, favors, warnings. The life does not get easier, you just get harder to surprise. Eventually they send you to speak for them without anyone standing beside you. It is only a conversation, but your mouth goes dry because everyone in the room knows what it means. Now people are watching how you breathe, how you pause, how quickly you answer. In this world, even hesitation tells a story. And then you misread the room. You promise too much, push too hard, trust the wrong smile. The mistake is quiet, but the damage spreads fast. Afterwards, nobody shouts at you. That is the terrifying part. You sit alone in a hallway and realize consequences do not always arrive loudly. Your mentor finds you there and tells you the truth. Fear never leaves this life. You either learn to carry it or it carries you. So you start again, slower this time. You listen more than you speak. You study faces, patterns, loyalties, and the difference between confidence and noise. The second chance does not come with music or applause. It comes as another room, another table, another silence waiting to see if you have learned. This time you do not rush. You let the tension breathe, choose your words carefully, and leave the room with everyone still calm. That is what winning looks like here. The recognition is small, a better seat, a firmer handshake. Your name spoken with less doubt. It feels good for a moment. Then you realize it means they expect more. The rooms change after that. Better restaurants, cleaner offices, heavier conversations. The suit gets sharper, but the weight underneath it gets heavier. People start turning to you before you feel ready. They wait for your opinion, your signal, your judgment. You miss the days when being invisible felt like failure. You learn the hardest fights are not always with enemies. Sometimes they are between people on the same side, each one convinced their fear is wisdom. Then one evening, the argument stops and every face turns toward you. No one says it out loud, but the decision has landed in your hands. You choose the option nobody likes, but everyone secretly knows is right. For once, the room settles instead of breaking apart. After that, they stop treating you like the newcomer. Doors open faster. Conversations pause when you enter. Respect arrives, but so does distance. That night, you catch your reflection in a dark window and barely recognize the person looking back. You got what you wanted, but you cannot remember when it started costing this much. Birthdays are missed, calls go unanswered, dinner goes cold. You keep telling yourself it is temporary, but temporary becomes the shape of your life. Then you are brought into bigger rooms, where the stakes are hidden behind polished tables and expensive silence. The higher you climb, the less anyone says directly. Soon your name travels further than you do. People who have never met you decide what kind of man you are. Some fear you, some admire you, and almost none of them know you. Then the call comes in the middle of an ordinary night. A deal has collapsed, loyalties are shifting, and one bad decision could pull everyone down with it. By the time you arrive, the room is already waiting. Phones buzz, faces tighten, and nobody wants to admit how close everything is to falling apart. You want to panic, but there's no space for it. So you lower your voice, give the first instruction, and make everyone believe there's still a plan. Then the plan cracks. More calls come in, stories change. People who were certain an hour ago are suddenly looking at the floor. This is the moment the life changes you. Not because you feel brave, but because everyone else is borrowing their courage from your face. Finally, one detail makes sense. One lie does not fit. One nervous glance gives away the truth, and the whole room feels the pressure shift. The crisis ends quietly, almost insultingly quietly, after all that fear. People exhale, chairs scrape back, and you stand there knowing something in you did not come back. The promotion comes soon after, but it does not feel like a prize. It feels like being handed a heavier door key and told the next fire is yours. Then a new kid sits across from you in the same cafe where you once felt small. You see the nerves, the hunger, the mistake already forming in his eyes. At the top, the shouting stops. Power moves through quiet rooms, half smiles, unfinished sentences, and people pretending they are not afraid. Then comes the test nobody can help you with. The easy choice would keep everyone happy. The right choice would leave you standing almost alone. So you choose the decision you can still look at in the mirror. It costs you support, comfort, and maybe safety, but at least it still belongs to you. The backlash comes fast. Old allies go quiet, rivals smell weakness. People who praised your strength yesterday now call it betrayal. Leadership is not the speech you give when everyone agrees. It is standing there while the room turns cold and refusing to become smaller. Eventually, you stop chasing fear, applause, or permission. You start thinking about what remains after you leave the room for the final time. At the very top, the title sounds enormous to everyone else. To you, it feels like a chair surrounded by ghosts, debts, and names you can never forget. One day you return to the cafe where it started. The tables are the same, the light is the same, but the person who walked in years ago is gone. This is your life as a mafia boss. Not the fantasy, not the movie poster, but the pressure, the sacrifice, the loneliness, and the cost of being obeyed. Because the real question was never whether you could take the title. It was whether any part of you would survive once the title took you.